Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Scarecrow, and welcome back to another commentary style video. And today we're actually going to be talking about why living in Australia sucks being a gamer. And I say gamer, just like why it sucks, kind of just as from a gaming standpoint. Let's just say that. Now, you guys know Australia is remote, okay? It's a bit removed from a lot of places in the world, and it's quite far from a lot of locations. We're kind of like a novelty, and this has nothing to do with like what it's actually like living in Australia. I quite live it like living here. You know, it's kind of like an exotic location. It's got nice beaches. The weather's generally pretty nice most of the time and stuff like that. It's got its own ups and downs like any other country. But from a gaming standpoint, and from being like a YouTuber and doing all the stuff that I do, there are some major drawbacks to living here that I just wish didn't exist. And maybe, you know, 50 years in the future, when we all have internet and, you know, futuristic technologies that allow us to teleport across the planet, then maybe it won't be, you know, so annoying to live here. But we don't. It's 2017, so, you know, I just can only do the best with what I have. And you guys know me, I don't like to complain about a lot of things, but I just thought I'd let you guys know why it really sucks to live in Australia and try to get anything done in terms of gaming and stuff like that. So, number one is going to be the internet speed. Australian internet sucks. Now, I'm not going to say that no other country has bad internet, but, like, we're not even in the top 50 of, like, countries with, you know, fast internet. We're way down the list. It's embarrassingly low for how, quote-unquote, advanced we are. You'd think for, you know, how well off our country is, you'd think that, you know, our internet would be a little bit faster. It's not. It sucks. My internet speed is like 20 something. I think it's like 22 down and like 4 up or something like that, which is pretty damn slow, especially for being someone that relies on their internet to do their job a lot of the time. It's pretty slow. So internet speed it's gotten better over the past couple years, but Australia in terms of internet just sucks. Now, I'm not going to say that there aren't worse places for internet, but Australia could really do better in terms of internet, and just living here, you just got to accept that it's like a crawl most of the time. But the number one issue that I have with playing in Australia, like playing any kind of multiplayer game, just gaming in general, is how far you are from any major servers. So Australia only has one Call of Duty server. If you have a dedicated host and dedicated lobby, then you'll connect to the one server in Australia, which is, you know, a couple states over from me. In America and a few other countries, you have multiple places to connect to, and it's like I'm going to constantly have between 60 to 80 ping. That's never actually going to get better unless I move closer to the server. And that's fine. No, I don't mind 60 to 80 ping. That's definitely usable and stuff like that. I'm very, very jealous of people that have like 30 and 40 ping. It's just like, that'd be awesome. But you live with what you dealt with, and there's nothing wrong with mine. It's certainly usable. But then you have other multiplayer games where their resources are a lot less, and so they have to rely off smaller, more remote servers and stuff like that. So recently it's become really annoying, and one of the recent examples was when I attempted to play Doom. Doom was free for a weekend, so I thought that I'd, you know, try it, and I did, and I streamed it, and it was a lot of fun. I played the campaign for like an hour, I completed that, and then there was the multiplayer, and the multiplayer was actually really fun. The only problem was it kept connecting me to, you know, really, really far away servers, and because I don't think that it had any that were located near me, and it's just because, you know, Australia's a bit of a remote place. Like, every single game I was put into like a 1 bar or 2 bar. I don't want to say that, you know, I don't want to nitpick and say, well, that's just a problem with Doom. No, it's not. The same goes for a game that I downloaded over the weekend called Gigantic. It's a ton of fun. Again, a really, really fun game with a super, super interesting art style and theme that is actually a ton of fun. I've actually had a lot of fun over the weekend playing it, but the problem is, I'm constantly at a ping disadvantage because of how far away the servers are located. Like, I have to connect from people in other countries and stuff like that. And you guys will see it in my Call of Duty videos as well when I'm streaming and stuff like that. The game will just chuck me into American servers, Japanese servers, German servers. It'll just chuck me into any server just because that's where the people are located at. There's only ever really 1 or 2 lobbies on my connection, and that's just because of the lower population count and stuff. It's just basically because of where I live. And the same goes for other games as well. Days of War, if you guys remember, it was a World War II shooter that I kind of like reviewed a little while ago. It was like 6 or 7 months ago. It's been in early access and stuff. That game, again, ton of fun. The problem is no Australian servers, no real oceanic servers. It has American, it has Europe, and then I think that's the only 2 that it has, actually, America and Europe. So you're kind of fudged if you live in like Asia Pacific region, so that kind of sucks. Insurgency, I don't think has very many Australian servers. There's a multiplayer game that came out on Steam over the past week that looked really, really fun called Black Squad, and it's a free-to-play play shooter. It looks really cool. It's got elements from Counter-Strike and Insurgency. Look really cool. But then I was reading through their stuff, and they don't have any Australian servers. They have North American, South American, I think, and then they have a few others in like major areas, but nowhere close to me. So that really sucks as well. It's kind of like if you live this far down, I guess if it's down, I guess it is down if you're looking, you know, at a world map. We're remote compared to a lot of places, and so, you know, that's just something that I have to adapt to, is getting used to playing on high ping. Whatever I play, most likely if I'm playing any game, like a co-op game, multiplayer game, I gotta play it on higher ping than a lot of people would assume necessary. Like I spend a lot of time in Black Ops 3 on 300 ping just to play with my friends, and it's not unplayable, it's just less than optimal, and that's because of where I live. And a lot of people would just say, oh, well, you know, move and stuff like that. Well, no, I like it here in Australia. I just wish some devs would be a little bit more understanding to people that live in like more quote-unquote remote areas. Like, I get Australia is not that remote, like it's still a part of the civilized world, it's not a third world country or anything like that, but at the same time, it's just like, it's kind of disappointing when you buy a game, or if you're considering buying a game, especially a multiplayer game, you have to take into account how far away the servers are, something you actually have to look at. You would have to gauge whether your experience online would be a fun or horrible experience. Like, there are so many shooters and online multiplayer games that are fun and stuff like that, but they just don't have the capabilities for me to play. Like, they don't have the resources or the servers for me to enjoy the game, just because I'd be playing on ridiculously high ping a lot of the time. And I get that this doesn't really count for the bigger games that have more resources and stuff like that. I'm just talking about smaller games that don't have quite as many resources and servers as the bigger companies and bigger franchises. So I know this video is a bit left of field and stuff like that, but I did say I wanted to make this video, and Australia just, in terms of gaming, living out here, you kind of have to put up with quite a bit. Not to mention that, but the games here, like games, our economy when it comes to electronics and gaming and games and Steam is just ridiculously overpriced. Right now, I think the Nintendo Switch console they just released, which is supposed to be a budget platform, actually costs around the same as an Xbox One or PlayStation 4, which is crazy. I think it might even cost more at the moment, but yeah, like our prices when it comes, like our economy when it comes to electronics and gaming, like on Steam, they don't even have Australian dollars on Steam, so you have to work it out based in American dollars, and it's just really stupid if you ask me. So yeah, this is my one video complaining about where I live. I don't like to complain a lot. Like, I'm a really positive guy, and I like to, you know, look at the silver linings for a lot of things, but this is kind of the one video where I wanted to rant a bit about my current situation. Obviously, the rant isn't going to do anything, and I'm not asking for your guys' sympathy. It's just that it's something that I thought I'd bring you guys attention to. So there are a lot of games that I would happily play, and still do play, but where I live really does affect my experiences in those games. So anyway guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. So if you have enjoyed, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I shall see you, beautiful people, in the next video.